Okay, we're back. All right, so we left off with the final cutting and kind of decimating of this, or slicing of the our little aircraft building we got here. Anyways, okay, so we will take that cut that we have and adjusted kind of where we wanted to go. I always do this like, let's see where we want it here. I always kind of typically do this before I put it inside the Boolean. And cinema rotating features are really great. Just you grab the edge wherever it is, like that, or you can grab in the center and start to begin to like give kind of freestyle cuts. You know, um, let's see, get it kind of getting off the edge there. I don't think I want this to affect the base, so I'm going to pull the base out of there. And just want it to affect the top stuff. As you see here, it does it pretty quick and easy. And I don't really like where it is, so I'll just pull that back slightly. And it looks like it gave me a pretty good cut. Alright, and so, there's our first cut. I want to do another one, so we'll take this one over. I think we're going to rotate it around a little like this. You know, E. And then the keyboard works with QWERTY, so everything is pretty much standard. Q W E R T. These W E R. Let's see. W changes world and object. E is move. R is rotate, and T is scale. Anyways, I should have told you that earlier, or you should have known already. All right, so I kind of want. Yeah, no, we're gonna let that one cut too. So then we make another Boolean, and we drop that in there, the other Boolean in, and then we drop the cut in again. Boom. And so now he's cutting through. It looks like yeah, he got the guy there. Okay. Yep. Maybe that top's a little funky. So maybe we'll just adjust the top. Needs a little bit of a slice there. Yeah. So same operation, take the Boolean, drop it in, drop that one in, boom, that one's off. And all these things are animatable. So remember, at any point, you can go inside the cube in your coordinates. Where it has these little dots, anything that has a dot beside it, you can always click, and then, go to the next frame, increase that dimension. Let's see, let's just move it. No, let's just move it by 16. Hit the button, and it's moving, but just ever so slightly. You see it moving there. Yeah, so maybe adjusting the Z would have been better. And then moving it down. So in this case, you see it's constantly moving. And this is really useful. You can start to do some really great stuff with this. Now let me show you one more thing before I get done. I was going to show you, I was talking to somebody about the character sheet inside of Cinema. One thing you want to say is like, okay, well these things need a little color. So create, new material. We'll call this one white. We'll call this one black. If you hold down Control and drag, I mean, a lot of the things that you know from Photoshop and other programs work the same thing inside Cinema. It's extremely intuitive and works really well. White, black, and then we'll do a gray. All right, and then we double click the thing, and then we go up here. If we click on the color panel right here, you can get this over here, and I'm just going to drag this all the way down for black. We have a nice black, and then we're going to click the gray down there, and then we're going to bring this down to gray, and then we're going to adjust the white all the way to white, all the way to the top, so we get a nice clean finish. In specular, you can adjust this to metallic and get a different thing in the colored. Colored usually works really well over the plastic, but it also takes away any kind of shine, so the black's kind of good with it. The white's better without it. So what we're going to do is we're going to simply go inside of here. Remember, the cut and the object will have a different color. So we want the bear to be black. We'll drop that right on the subdivision layer. And see, he's not black from over here, but he is black over here. All right. So we also want the dumbbell to be black. So I'm going to drag that onto the dumbbell. See the dumbbell turn black. We want the aircraft carrier to be white. So we'll drop that on the aircraft carrier. And I kind of like the cut of the aircraft carrier to be gray, which is the bear. Matter of fact, I want him like that. Okay. And so we're getting a little bit of stuff going on here. When you're working with these kind of high poly models, they can get a little finicky. Okay, and I kind of want the Metroid to be black. Metroid. The cuts don't look bad in gray, but let's see. I want the base to be gray. Definitely the cut of the base, which is the aircraft carrier, to be white. And we'll make the Metroid cuts black too. And the one on the base. It's funny, it's not cutting the... There it goes. Alright. And now I really want the major cuts to be gray. So we'll just drag and drop on the cube cuts, which it's another one here, another one here. So there we go. Now you have it. We have this little guy all textured. Alright, and now what I would suggest is to go into our render settings. If we're going to do cinema, I always tend to use in the output here, you go to this little drop down menu, and I usually tend to use these landscapes. Tabloids are usually pretty good. And if you look at the back of it, you see this little graying line right here? This is your camera. So if you hit the camera up here, it will lock it to where you are, and if you click the little right here, that's on the camera. So if I move this camera, it's going to adjust that. But if I unclick the camera button, it takes it back to the other one. So it takes me back to that, back and forth. You see? It's really good. And clicking on something will make you be able to rotate around it. So, we can get a good shot of it like this. With the bear. you know, on the back side. Okay, and now let's go back to the render settings. It's at 300. That's a little excessive. 150. I always ambient occlusion is under ambient effects. So ambient occlusion, don't touch it. This tells you where you're gonna send it. I always do PNG. Click these to get your alphas in. You can click sound. And you can just, if you just give it a name, wherever this is saved, it's going to save the images there. So if I say this aircraft, bear, love, 01. All right, so it's good to go. Then if I click this right here on render to picture view, it's going to pop this menu up. No. And see, it's starting to prepare. And with no lights in the scene, it's just going to light it. It lights it pretty semi-well. Ah, one thing you do want to watch out for, it looks like what we're running into. Is the fact inside of your subdivisions, see this thing says subdivision render, knock that down to the same as what's on the screen on all your adjustments. See, that one's probably the one that did it. Yeah. Make sure all your adjustments are down for the renderer. Alright. And so now it should be a little easier preparing that. Yeah. So that's what the problem was. It was trying to subdivide again. Alright, so there's our object rendered in Cinema. I'm going to show you another quick way to get a lot of iterations of this thing very quickly. So, we're just going to, go, you have to go through here and, adjust these a little bit. But I'm going to show, once you get it out of Cinema, you could bring it into ZBrush. And so I'll show you inside of ZBrush, for instance, this is a cube I did. Let's do a new document. Actually, you know what? I'm going to call it for this one. I'll show this on the next one. Thanks, guys. Hope you enjoyed the Boolean video.